This is Tom Noonan. You're listening to Without Your Head.
And I'm here with comedian, actor, interview host, and now director Kevin Pollak. How you doing tonight? Actually, it's today.
I'm kicking life square in the nuts, Neil. Thanks very much. Who are you welcoming back, by the way?
Oh, well, we'll actually be playing this during the live show Thursday, but now you've just ruined the magic.
How did I ruin the magic by saying, who are you welcoming back?
Well, all the
you
listeners.
You just said your audience.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
I ruined it myself.
Let's try that again. Take two. Who are you welcoming back, Neil?
Oh, all the listeners, of course.
Yeah, I was just having some fun at your expense. Sorry about that.
No problem. Let everybody know your new web series, Vamped Out, every Monday. Part 2 is up right now. And you can check that out at babblegum.com/vampedout. You want to just explain to everybody what it is, like the premise is?
Well, sure. The log line is, in a world gone crazy with books, TV shows, and movies about far too many beautiful vampires, imagine if you were a real one who couldn't get hired to be one.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. So, yeah.
It's very funny. I watched both episodes that are up. I haven't seen them all yet, of course. I know there was a screening for all of them. Like, how did that go? What was, like, the reaction?
The screening was really great because, we knew it would never be on a giant screen, nor was it really intended to be. But also, it's going to take 6 weeks before anyone can watch all the episodes back to back. So it was kind of nice to play for an audience first, seeing all the episodes back to back just to get the reaction of the whole thing. But we made the point of having each episode end with the end credits so that there'd be a sense of when each episode ended instead of just editing it as one continuous thing. And it was really surprising how well it went because I'd been in post-production and editing, and so with Robert Legato, my editor, and I just, you're in a vacuum. I completely lost touch with any objectivity whatsoever. I had no idea what anyone outside this little editing bay would think, and so it was great. Very, very great. Quite a relief, I would say. It was word of the night, relief.
Mm. Well, where did the idea come from to write this, to create it?
My better half, Jamie, and I went to have lunch with Jason Antoon, my co-creator and star of our thing, and his better half, Shauna. And on the way there, Jamie and I saw yet another billboard for, in this case, I don't know if it was the second season or the first, but it was for the Vampire Diaries on the CW, whatever would be 6 months ago, basically. Anyways, and with the hilarious tagline, "Love sucks." Oh my God, so funny. And so we sat down bemoaning and bitching about, can you believe this crap? There's another one. And out of nowhere, Antoon says, what if you were a real vampire right now and you couldn't get hired to be in one of these shows because you weren't, six-pack abs and skinny and tired. Yeah. And so Jamie says, we all laughed right away. And then Jamie said, Kevin, that'd be a great bit for your act. And I said, that's a great web series. And I wasn't looking to do a web series prior to that. I don't know why I said that instead of that'd be a great short film or we should pitch that around town. It just blurted out of me, that'd be a great web series. And we started writing the next week, and in about 3 weeks we had readable 6 scripts, and now I'm talking to you.
Right. Do you think web series, the internet's is becoming a viable place to get your project seen?
Well, I tell you, the draw for me, having done the chat show for, I guess at that point, 7 or 8, 9 months, whatever it was, when we started writing the web series, the 100% creative freedom and control, which has never existed for me in traditional media, other than I started out as a stand-up comedian, and I got spoiled as a stand-up comedian because as the comedian, you're the writer, the editor, the performer, the director, the choreographer, the producer, often the salesman. You're everything. So as I got into acting, I found as incredible as the opportunities were, I was a gun for hire with very little say as to much, let alone the finished product. So, and then I got involved in TV in a few projects where I was the creator, and oh God, just noted to death by network executives, and they have an uncanny, if not savant, genius ability to find the heart of the piece, if not the lightning in the bottle, what makes it so special about whatever it is you've created, and then adding water to that exact thing. So after years and years of frustration there, I found, yes, creating for original content for the web is nirvana.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not just saying this because you're on here, but I really do enjoy your chat show. It's on kevinpollak.net. And I know on your one interview where you're with Jason Reitman, and you asked a lot of questions about like the directing process. How did you find the process? Is it something you enjoyed? You'd like to do more of?
I'm hooked for life. Yes, I look forward to doing it a whole lot more, and I can't wait to do it with an actual budget. But I didn't mind that part of it. I'm just kind of joking. But there was something about the guerrilla shooting aspect of it. I think that was one of the reasons I enjoyed it so much. But certainly the creative control and freedom was probably the greatest, most powerful drug part of it.
Now,
not having to answer to it.
Mm-hmm. I know in the first two episodes, kind of the theme is he a vampire? Isn't he a vampire? Who believes him? I know you don't want to give away too much, but will you find out the definitive answer by the end of the series?
I'm sorry, you're asking me to tell the audience what they find out at the end of the series?
Not is he or isn't he, but will you find out one way or the other?
Well, you may have noticed a bit of a trend if you saw the first two episodes that we like to end on a cliffhanger. So it would be fair to say that we end the 6-episode series leaving the audience wanting more. Because as you notice from the disclaimer at the beginning of the episode where we show me in the editing bay and we have that voiceover saying that during post-production the documentary filmmaker went missing while shooting the documentary. So these are episodes that have been cut from the documentary that he was shooting. So yeah, 6 episodes would not be the entire documentary.
Mm-hmm. No, well, you do like a season 2, or?
I hope so.
That's the plan, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sam Levine he plays the agent in it, and he's also on your chat show. Was that like role written for him?
When we were creating the story and breaking the 6 episodes, and the characters were starting to take effect, the idea of Sam playing the agent came to mind instantly, and we then tossed it around as to what else we might, because we thought about big name stunt casting some of the parts,
Now you talked about seeing the billboard, the Love Sucks. What do you think about like the vampire craze? Are you a fan of any of like the TV shows or like the new vampire movies? Or?
Well, no. I mean, I think it's our overall frustration with them. I mean, I understand the Twilight movies are made for kids, and that's great because they should have their own movies like this, like I did when I was 12 years old. So that's fine. And then shows like True Blood, which are supposed to be for adults. I think I found it very annoying and frustrating how they were messing with the mythology of vampires to suit their own needs, and I think it's really important to stamp their shows by having their own mythology, which is one of the reasons in our web series we decided to blow out the mythology completely and suggest that it was spoon-fed to Bram Stoker by our hero vampire as a way to allow vampires to walk among humans, because the truth is it was all misinformation that he gave Stoker about the sleeping in coffins and can't go out in the sun and fear of silver crosses and garlic. So we suggested, well, let's go all the way with it and suggest it was all made up. But then we found that it acted as a way to protect vampires who, according to our mythology, can now walk among us being humans, in daylight. And so it was fun blowing that out.
Right. Were you a horror movie fan, or are you a horror movie fan?
Very much so, but on the much more traditional side. I'm of age to have grown up with the sort of original, what now is looked back at as sort of cheese-tastic, with its utter lack of special effects and whatnot. Mm-hmm. I like that the monsters were very, very slow when they chased after the pretty girl who was falling down.
Yeah, you're not a fan of the running zombies.
Well, it's the CGI zombies that I'm not a fan of, and in the scary shit that crawls on the ceiling. I don't. It just doesn't ring true with my heart in terms of what could really happen. I think that's the scary part. I like the psychological thrillers, I guess.
Yeah. Troy couldn't be here today for the interview, but he's normally here. But he wanted me to ask you if you can do a Bela Lugosi impression.
Can I do a Bela Lugosi impression? Well, I don't know. Perhaps I could. That's more of a Boris Karloff I'm doing. I'm sorry. I confuse the two of them. Oh. I guess the answer is no. I can only do Boris Karloff. I can't Bela Lugosi. I've failed miserably at Bela Lugosi. Other than the ridiculously standard and cliche line of, I want to suck your blood. Yeah, that's about as close as I could get, and admittedly, it's about as gay and awful as it gets.
Right. Now, I'd ask too, where did you come up with the name Aloysius? Because, where did that?
Well,
is there a story
we did a little research and found out that Bram Stoker was a theater critic in Dublin before he wrote Dracula, and created the mythology that we actually bow to, which was then destroyed by all these shows, as I've been complaining about. But we found out that he was a theater critic in Dublin, so we created this backstory where our guy was an actor in that theater district who couldn't get a good review from Bram and was very frustrated by that. So, the idea was always to sort of play with that as a way to create a sort of realistic version of our guy. And then once we realized that, we thought, well, what's a name from the late 1800s that no longer is in use? And that's where Aloysius came from. And so we call him Al all throughout the thing. And then a few people use his proper name. But that is the origin of that very strange name.
It's a pretty sweet name.
Right?
Just you worked with so many great directors. Did you learn anything from them? Working with them.
I did. I learned that you should have more money for craft service. No, I definitely studied all of them when I worked with them, and I was fortunate enough to work with a lot of the masters. Mm-hmm. And consequently, there was a lot to learn if you were paying attention. And, I've been crazy lucky as an actor to work with some of the people that I have. It's been ridiculous.
When you're on the set with a great great director, can you tell the difference between a great director and a really bad director? And you can say, oh, I know why this guy is a great director.
Well, you may say to yourself, I disagree. You wouldn't say out loud, I disagree. Right. That's for sure. Yeah. But after working with the great ones, you can certainly see the bad ones coming because you have something to compare them to. You have to be respectful to whoever's directing, and then you just hope for the best. But I'll tell you, in the case of Usual Suspects, Bryan Singer, the director, hadn't done anything. So we didn't know what the hell we were going to get from this kid. And he was 26 at the time and looked about 14, so it was really unnerving to be in the hands of this child. And look what a masterful job he did with that movie. So it's best to remain calm and give them every chance to prove themselves.
When you did Casino, was it more exciting for you to be like in a Martin Scorsese movie, or to be there with De Niro, or to be on there with Don Rickles?
Don Rickles, because he would go after De Niro, so then I got the 1-2 punch.
That's pretty awesome. But anyway, thank you for coming on today. And let everybody check out babblegum.com/vamped out. New episode every Monday. And we'll have the link right on the website in case you can't spell. You can just click on it. Anything you want to
All
talk
right,
about?
thank you.
Yeah.
No, I'm just greatly looking forward to see what everybody thinks. Please feel free to write me on Twitter or send any comments to my online talk show. You can just write to contact@kevinpollakschatshow.com. I'd love to hear what any of your listeners think.
This is Kyle Gass on Tenacious D. You're listening to Without Your Head.
This is Henry Hill from the movie Goodfellas, and I'm on the show Without Your Head.